Kshatriya is not a person who wages a war outside. Kshatriya is a man who wages a war upon himself, tries to conquer himself. Any person who moves that wealth, delivers it to the soul called Atman, called Swadhisthana, through awakening the Kundalini, he is called Brahmana. So there are 4 stages in the tapas. The primary state is called Shudra, then I had to pass, then become a Vaishya. Then I had to pass and become a Kshatriya. Then I had to pass and become a Brahmana. So this Varnashrama is basically a principle in which the human strength is to be elevated. It is a must for everybody. But Varnashrama cannot come by birth, it has to come only by tapas. So by birth is a misnomer, it must not have been done. That is the downfall of the Hinduism. If Varnashrama is brought by tapas, and again if tapas is brought in the yoga, then things become possible. It means you have to donate the energy to the soul. That is the purpose of life. The donation is called dhana. And you have to make a journey from the body to the soul. That is called yana. Yana means journey. So do dhana, do yana. That is called dhana plus yana. It is called dhyana. So dhyana is a process in which you donate energy to the soul by making an internal journey called yana. So every human has to do the dhyana. Then we must teach them how to do the dhyana with the Gayatri mantra. Then we must tell what is this Gayatri mantra, how it has come in the Rigveda. The prana of the human body represented in sound is called Gayatri mantra. Gayam trayati iti Gayatri. So if that is the case, how to take this prana inwards is a basic question. Then the entire journey of the body is with breath as the primordial energy. Any transformation in the earthly body or in the earth must be done only through air. Air is the medium. It is the medium through which you have to travel. The air is called Vayu. All journey is through Vayu, that is called voyage, has come in English. So the Vayu means an internal journey through the Vayu. Vayu is called Pranayama. So the Gayatri mantra must be implanted through Pranayama. And the Gayatri mantra is the prana of the human body. As such, every human is entitled to utilize it. No question of man or woman, no question of a caste, no question of a religion. So we will teach the process in the Yoga Shastra how to carry on this pranayama. What are the several types of the pranayama that exist? We will inform about these 14 vyavasthas. So if that is the case, let us get into what is called as the Uttarayana. Uttarayana means, Uttara means north, Uttanga, increase the strength. Anything that rises, the strength is called as Uttara, a proper answer, a proper perspective in which the earth is to be carried out is called as Uttarayana. Now the journey is Uttarayana. It means the earth takes more energy. What is this Uttarayana and Dakshinayana? Uttarayana is an increase of the energy level. Dakshinayana is a fall of the energy level. So Uttarayana and Dakshinayana corresponds to 2 energies, one in which there is a rise and in which other one is a fall. Any energy has to be in cyclic process. Consequently, there has to be a rise and there has to be a fall. This is called as a sinusoidal curve in the physics. Or you must say that it follows a sinusoidal pattern in which the Uttarayana represents the upper crest, the Dakshinayana represents the lower crest of the sinusoidal curve. It is something like an heartbeat in which you have got 2 beats. One is it rises the energy, then it has got a fall. So there is a rise of energy and also there is a fall of energy. That completes one cycle of the heart. Similarly, the earth also experiences this cycle that is called as rise of energy called as Uttarayana. The fall of energy is what is called as Dakshinayana. So the Dakshinayana and Uttarayana is nothing but the rise of energy of the earth and the fall of energy of the earth. It must be called as the heartbeat of my mother earth. So as I have got an heartbeat, my mother earth also has got an heartbeat. If she is not having an heartbeat, how can I get the heartbeat? So my heartbeat has come only from my mother's heartbeat. My mother's heartbeat is Uttarayana and Dakshinayana. As at once in a year the heart beats, but my heart beats at the rate of 68 beats a minute or at the rate of 0.856 seconds is the heartbeat of the human body. 0.856 seconds is the heartbeat of the human body. Or in other words, I can say 67 beats is there in a minute. But the totality of the life of the human body is 432 crores heartbeats. If I am having 432 crores heartbeat as the life, my mother also has got 432 crores heartbeat, because I cannot have one heartbeat and my mother cannot have the another heartbeat. As such, the life of the earth is 432 crores of years. Right from the birth of the Akasha to the death of the Akasha, the total span is 432 crores of years, divided by what is called as 1000 Chaturyugas. Each Chaturyuga comprises of 43,20,000 years. As such, it is 432 crores of years in the full life of the Mother Earth. So in the Uttarayana, what I can say is, my mother heart begins and makes a journey. As we are all aware, when the heart beats in the human body, it distributes energy to the every particle of the human body. That is the purpose of the heartbeat. That is the same purpose with which my mother earth heartbeat also is there. When the heartbeat takes place, when the Uttarayana commences, what happens? Every particle on the earth's surface of all the Panchabhutas, all the human body, the entire vegetation gets its wealth from the heartbeat of my mother. When I ask my mother why your heartbeat is there, she says, this heart beats for my children. We are all the children of the whole, the earth. Consequently, it beats for every life, whether it's a vegetation or an animal or the human body. This heartbeat has an help to every particle of the human body, I can say, including life and non-life also. So shall I say that this Uttarayana is the commencement of the heartbeat of my mother? And if my heart beats in the Uttarayana, that is the commencement, shall I say that everyone gets the food? If I say that if everyone gets the food, can I say it's a revolutionary day? Can we say this revolutionary day is a Kranti? So it is a Kranti for all the people on that particular day, because everyone in this earth generates energy. Everyone gets food. Ask who gets the food again. It is for everyone, for one and all. The one and all is called Sam, S-U-M, Sam. In Vedic literature also, Sam means one and all. So it is for all the people this revolutionary day. It is called as, one and all is called Sam. Revolutionary day is called as Kranti. As such, it is called Sam plus Kranti. Sankranti. So Sankranti is basically a day in which the whole living organism can depend upon, oh, my mother earth has started beating her heart for the welfare of the children. We say that why the heart beats? The heart beats for, my heart is beating for everybody. Similarly, my mother's earth is beating for everybody. As such, the man must think in terms of her mother, and mother is the first guru of the whole system. As such, since the Prithvi is the mother of the whole body, the Sankranti must be taken as a lesson that she beats for everybody. So also let your heart be also for, not only for your organ, but also for the rest of the living organism. That is the message of the Sankranti. So in the Sankranti, my mother heart beats. That great revolutionary day is what is called as Sankranti. So Sankranti is not for Hindus. Sankranti is not for religious people. It is not for the human person. It is not for the vegetation. But for every particle that is there in the earth's surface, that Sankranti festival is to be organized. The man being an intellectual, the intellectual man must organize a festival on that day, have a feast of the nature. We must find out how the strength of the Mother Earth can be raised so that the living organism can take birth and live happily. My Mother Earth must not become what? She must be able to give birth to everybody. She must be very strong. So these are the process that we have to do on the Sankranti, because my Mother Earth heart is beating on that day. So we thought of how to increase her strength. We have got a Tila. It is in Kannada, it is called Yeldu. It is in Hindi, it is called as Tila. Til. So this till, what happens? When it is offered to the Mother Earth, what happens is, the Mother Earth loses her saline characteristics. Consequently, she becomes rich in manure, rich in fertility. It becomes a fertile soil. When the Tila is offered to the soil, when it grows for a 40 days period, it comes to almost to the level of the flowering. At that time, if the plant is cut off and joined back to the earth, it becomes the most fertile material in the world. To make every non-fertile earth, if the fertility is not there in the earth, if the soil is salty, what you have to do is, you just offer the Tila to the particular ground. Grow it for about 40 days. Again, cut off the entire plant and join it to the earth. The earth becomes the most fertile thing in the world. So all